I remember when Kevin Samuels first came out and he was talking to men, men like me, men like the younger men, Gen Z, Millennium men. And he was digging into men about being squared away, not being broke, not being dusty, by doing the things you have to do to be productive, successful men and earning your position in life so that if you want to add a woman to that life, you've earned the right or you get what you earn as a man. Again, the best way to get what you want is to actually deserve what you want in life. Men listened. Men didn't complain. Men took the advice. Men that are men, not some whatever guy, but the men. They leveled up on their fitness, they leveled up on their money, and they put in the work. They didn't complain. They took the advice. You spin that when he starts talking to women. And the crazy thing is when he starts rating women and all these other things to get popularity, but one of the things about Kevin Samuels was he's very much pro-relationship. And he gave the perspective to women and told them the truth because we live in the world of delusion with social media. Social media options for men is fast and options for sausage. That's what social media really is. Women's options for sausage. But really, there's no man tree in the backyard that women can go pick quality men from. And they're realizing that even now ever more than with these dating events, that most of the attention that they get online is purely just for sausage. And half of the guys that are talking to them are mostly jellyback simps. They're not the men that they actually want to be with. Because if there was a man that actually wanted to be with, he wouldn't be talking to you online in your DM, period. You would be a part of his circle of whatever. You probably already are a part of that for many women. But let's get back to what we're talking about. Kevin tried to help the ladies. He told them what men want. He told you how to be in a relationship with a man of substance, a quality man. He told you all of these things that were necessary to function in a proper relationship. Even some of the brothers told him he's wasting his time. You cannot combat the indoctrination and the programming of corporate-sponsored, government-empowered, liberally backed feminist indoctrination. And many of these women's thirst for power. They want, obviously, egalitarian relationships. That's why you never heard me use the word partner on this channel. I am not a homosexual, so there's no need for me to use the word partner. I don't use those types of words. That's part of whatever ideology that I'm not a part of. But now you hear in 2026, all of these women that were given the information of what men want. You see, they don't care what men want. The men that they want to be with, they don't care. Because if you look at them, even as they complain on the internet, many of them don't look like anything men want. I'm not talking about just, your physical body is in terms of, this is who I am. There's no makeup, there's no fake up, there's no whatever. I'm talking about the things that you could control. Weight, rafter claws, tattoos everywhere, eyelashes everywhere. These are the things that men don't want to marry. Marry is the word. Whatever guys play around with and whatever else. But the men are telling women what they want and what they don't want. And the women are saying they're giving the men the middle fingers. So they don't really care what men want. At the end of the day, many of these women, especially the ones that are left over, they look at relationships as sponsorship, as a poverty alleviation project. Salute to my African brother who said that. They don't want to be under a man's leadership. They want to be under his wallet. They want you to do all of the traditional things of men. Pay 100% of the bills, be a provider and protector, but you can't tell me what to do. We're going to because if you try to tell me what to do, they're going to move the goalposts. Well, or they don't want to do all that domestic skills and cooking and cleaning and all the other things. They don't want to pour into the man. You're going to pay all the bills. You're going to take me and all my trauma and all my problem. And This is going to be an egalitarian relationship where we have equal partnership and equal voice. And just because you pay all the bills, you don't get to tell me what to do. You can't control me. You can't say anything. It is a Hail Mary. Guys, smart men have figured it out. These women, they're not looking for love. They're looking for sponsorship and a good solid jellyback simp that they can show their friends and say, look, he don't look that good, but he's got good money, he's got good pension, he's got good whatever. He's stable, he's got houses, cars, investments, investment properties. And they'll say, you know what, girl? You got yourself a good one. You were fishing for a simp, and you got yourself a good simp sponsor. And they'll all sit around, rub their hands, and say, yeah, girl, that one is good. He don't look like nothing, but guess what? He can pay some bills. You know, give you a little marital missionary once or twice a month and put you on the plan of, you know, the relationship being all about her, which again, no self-respecting masculine man is going to sign up for that. But it's not about connection. It's not about love. It's about sponsorship. It's about money. It's all they talk about is money. They're not trying to be anything that men want or men desire. They're not trying to position themselves in life to actually deserve what they're asking for. All you hear is entitlements. All you hear is demands for money. They're not saying to themselves, well, what do men want? How do I take care of a man? See, that's why you see some of these guys, they go places and they try and be with women who by cultural expectations, the culture tells them how they're supposed to take care of the man who takes care of them. So they don't have, you know, it's an embarrassment not to take care of your man in certain environments. Even though the infection of feminism has come in there and whatever else, there is still a cultural requirement that you take care of the man that takes care of you. In this society, all they talk about is what women want, what women should have from men, not how to keep a man, not how to take care of a man, not how to, many of the skill sets that women of the past have, a lot of these women don't have. They really don't. Even the Gen X women in my age group, I mean, most, and I always say to my boys and everybody else, learn how to cook. Learn how to do all your cleaning, domestic stuff. Make sure you're squared away as a man. Your laundry, your house, your cleaning, all the things that you need to do for yourself, because you're going to have to be the 100% man in terms of your own personal life, living on your own and doing the things to be squared away as a human being. Because you're not going to get that type of thing from relationships anymore, or many women anymore. Or if it's somebody that's living unless you get somebody that was raised in a more conservative mindset with a strong father and mother that held them accountable and actually chastised them, not raised them as a pampered princess, catering to their every whim and every need. You're out here for you young men. Many times it's a situation, they probably need to bring arranged situations back for you, because the pickings are scarce for quality. Quantity is vast. Options are vast. But what I see nowadays, because of the economy, because of inflation, because of these removal of these government programs and DEI and all these other things are going, and now it's the real world of the Serengeti. Incomes are not spreading. House prices are not going down. They're going up. I'm sure when Kevin Marsh takes over the Fed in May, interest rates go down. They're going to keep printing money, and inflation is going to go up in many instances. You got war going on in the Middle East, and we don't know how that's going to affect certain things. Obviously, there's all kinds of speculations, but I think China is going to be affected the most by all this. Anyhow, getting back on topic, the fact of the matter is, if someone like Kamala Harris had won the election, the last election, and everything was in place, I don't think you would see as many dating events as you would see now. Because really, they're just humiliation rituals for men. Because most of these women that come there, they're part of somebody's rotation, or they're getting some guy is doing something, because there's no shortage of sausage. Either they're getting something out of it. But men are smart. Men are realizing, men are self-respecting, men that understand their worth, their value. They would rather be alone That alone doesn't mean you don't interact with women. You don't enjoy the companionship of women. CGA does it all the time. He's alone, but he enjoys his life. And I told the guys, most of the things you need in this society, in this environment, is self-esteem and money. That's what you need to function in this environment. And you need to really protect yourself and your mental health as a man. Take care of your body, go work out, do the things you have to do for you, because nobody's going to come save you if you don't. If you are crazy enough to let one of these women seduce you into one of these relationships where their only primary motive is sponsorship. And again, we talk about responsibility without authority in this society, in this relationship. Responsibility and obligations without authority is slavery, period. Pay all my bills, do these things for me, but I'm not really a traditional woman. In fact, most guys that get into a relationship with women right now, when they're finally ready to settle down, you're pretty much the last pick of the draft. And the deal ain't gonna come as lucrative as the man that got the first five off the jump. You're getting pretty much the trauma, the damage, the emotional stuff, the entitlement, and the expectation. Probably a covert feminist that don't listen to men. If she's been single this whole time, she's probably liberal-minded, see relationships through the lens of men as this equality person in a relationship where you have no authority, you can't tell me what to do, but you have to pay for everything type scenario, where it becomes all about her and what benefits her. That doesn't sound like a very inspirational deal for any man that has any type of self-esteem. So smart men realize that, I don't think that's a situation. There's no return on investment for you getting into a relationship as the last pick of the draft, as guy number 25. What are you getting that those other 25 guys did not get, other than an addition to your bill, and the energy drained from their emotional trauma and its responsibilities of dealing with her emotional trauma, and pretty much mostly a disrespectful delivery with sex after the honeymoon phase is over. And self-respecting men would rather be free out here on the Serengeti with a peaceful life, enjoying life. I'm about to get up, hit the gym. Today is the day I get my steak, and I'll get out here, do the things. The market opens at 9:30. Get out here, live life on your own terms. I haven't done much traveling this year. I see brothers like CGA is all the way in the Philippines. Salute to you, brother. Other brothers out here living life the way. You're not limited to, look, if you're out here, you're a single brother, the world is your choice as a man, especially if you're squared away. You're not limited. You got to develop a mindset mentality to resist the shame. Shame is all they got left. Whether it's the jellybacks or the cucks or anybody else that have an opinion of you, why does it really matter? All the shame is about is that you are doing things that don't serve them or their ideas of how you should live as a man. Do you think women care about what you think about how they live in terms of, how they exist? They don't, many of them, especially the brothers in the black community, them women don't look like nothing you wanted. Kevin Samuels told them what they should do to get the outcomes that they wanted. What did they say? They came to his show for the entertainment purposes. All they heard was men supposed to pay for this and men supposed to pay for that. And they didn't hear nothing else. They didn't hear nothing else. You look at the church where 1,000 women were there and no men showed up. Do those women look, act, or behave like anything that you want to exist with every day as a man? It's like living and getting your balls stomped and smashed every day and getting gnawed on and chewed on every day, where somebody is in there talking slick out the side of their mouth to you, expecting you to do everything in a relationship where they benefit, and they don't pour into you. They want to be worshipped and exalted. They're using this church to rebrand themselves and hide their 304 past. And Jesus has forgiven me. What's wrong? What about you? Look at them. Do you see them trying to do any self-improvement? Do men tell women they like neck? Well, some dudes like neck tattoos and big tattoos and masculinity and all this other bullshit. But people can say, well, peaceful life. Look at you. You look like Mr. like Mark Curry or, Gary Coleman or whatever else. I'm not wearing any makeup, any fake up. This is who I am. You call me old man. It doesn't matter. You call me 60, 70, 80, 100 years old. It don't make a rat's ass for you. A peaceful life is still not handing over any money. You call me whatever you want. Well, I'll hand over some money if it puts some smile on my face. But you can call me anything you want. Guys, let them shame you. Don't give them a dollar of attention, a dollar of validation. When they make a post on social media, walk past that shit like it's invisible. And for you simps, you're never going to touch that box. Period. So waste your time. Why give away your energy? Now you just made them feel boosted for the day. They definitely ain't gonna give you no box. They definitely ain't gonna date you. They already have the dudes around that they like. And it ain't you. So why give them any validation? But getting back on topic, they had the instructions. Kevin tried to help them. Men in the black manosphere tried to help them. Men in the manosphere tried to help women. Men in the red pill community try to help women. But they think the men in the red pill community are the ones that are the misogynists. No, the men out there pandering to you are the ones that are misogynist. Because they don't care if you stay in peaceful life is gonna dig into you and tell you to get up off your ass and square yourself away, lose some weight and get in shape and be squared away. And this is how you take care of a man that you want. And he should take care of you too. That's going to get you outcome. But you sit around listening to the panda bears and, watching emotional porn on the internet and you get zero outcome. You're still sitting there on the couch eating your Pringles at night. And guess what? No quality man is in your life. And now with the economy and inflation going the way it is, you got poor outcomes. But you hate Kevin Samuels. You celebrated his passing. And that resonated with the men. Men understand. Men understand it's a waste of time to go to the dating events or to approach women because they know that you're just trying to validate the attention that you're getting online. And they're not going to do that. You walk around on your low self-esteem. No one's going to boost your self-esteem. Nobody's going to go through no humiliation ritual to boost your self-esteem when you're not even working hard to be anything that men want you to be in a relationship with them. You compete with other women. Everything you do is for other women. Women out here getting BBLs and things of that nature. Respectable men don't want to be in relationships with long-term relationships. I'm not talking about no Hollywood celebrities or whatever else. I'm talking about most men. I think BBLs are freaking nasty. Anyhow, it's filthy. It's not natural. It's not hygienic in my mind. Most men think like me. Now, there's some dudes that will play with it, play toys, have fun with it. And those are usually the men you don't really want to be with in a long-term relationship anyhow. That guy pretty much is a loser, or he's some Hollywood celebrity or whatever else. Natural, the guy down in the bank or the guy that's an engineer or mechanic or whatever else, them dudes like natural women. It's about connection for him. It's about natural. Guys, that's what guys want to be with long term. Now, look, needs drive behavior. Some dude that's horny and trying to get laid tonight, most of them dudes don't care. I care. I wouldn't touch that shit with a 10-foot pole. But some dudes are like that. They don't care. They'll take anything. The standards are low for some brothers. White, black, it doesn't matter what. But that's just recreational use for them. But in terms of long-term relationships and wanting to be with that woman, man, ain't no self-respecting man trying to be hanging out with no stinky BBL. Hell no. Madness. But I understand if some dudes, his hormone levels is up, he ain't got no box in about 2 weeks, and he's like, in a month. And he's like, shit, man, BBL chick, back the truck up. You're gonna go. Men will consume roadkill sometime. Sometimes it's hunting in the drunk hole takes effort. And guys like, look, that fruit is on the ground right here and needs drive behavior. Some dudes do shit like that. I understand. Look, testosterone spikes sometimes. Look, it is what it is. But as far as keeping or living with or having something respectful that you can show to the world, where you can walk around with pride and honor as a man, hell no. Nobody walking around there and nobody taking you serious in the world of men. You women all tatted up and BBL'd up and you walking around looking like a fool as a man. Especially if you got a job where you have to go to events and go in front of people and have respect in this world as a man, in the world of men. Hey, look at this dude. If you're retired or don't care or whatever else, that's for some other people. At the end of the day, it's about men respecting themselves and men understanding. And many of these relationships and dating events and everything else of that is just a campaign for financial support. There's nothing about connection. There's nothing about love. These are Hail Mary passes. And the same women that have disrespected, celebrated the death of Kevin Samuels are now out here because of the economy. All of a sudden they're traditional. They're tired of working. They're tired of being in cubicle. They're tired of this shit. Working is, let me tell you, women, whoever signed up for that feminism, I calculated 1 year that I probably drove over a month and a half just commuting from one job site to the other job out of the year, just getting back and forth on top of the long 60, 70, 80-hour weeks I was working, just to commute itself, to get from different facilities and different things and doing different things and training and all that stuff. It's a lot of time I spent. I probably put over almost 300,000 miles on my truck at that time. So I understand. So hard work, effort, but there's no superheroes coming anymore, because women have told men that they hate them, they despise them, they've disrespected them online every day. They tell men they choose to bear. Being in a relationship, having a boyfriend is embarrassing. All these negative things they're saying to men, and then they get men, and men are afraid to be accused of something. But really, women just want the men they're attracted to approach them. And if you ain't that, in any way, many women feel they have been disrespected. They feel you've lowered their value by approaching them. If you're not the man that they're attracted to, you've basically disrespected them in a way, in their mind. Because you lowered it, they're getting all the attention online, or maybe they've been in the rotation of some more dominant, higher status male, and he has imprinted them, and they think that that's the level that they're supposed to get, because that's what sexual liberation does in an unregulated sexual marketplace. If men regulated sexual marketplace, men would pick men that they vet properly to be with their daughters. But men don't control it. Feminism, sexual liberation, it's the Serengeti out here. So they can go and sleep with that guy, and imprinted them back in the day, and that level will stay there. And they really hate the man that they have to settle for, because they feel like he's beneath them. That's why you see these videos of guys who paying 100% of the bills, that not for the woman that sees him as her sexual select preference, but the woman that picked him the last pick of the draft. If you're paying 100% of the bills, if you can afford it, for some men, it doesn't matter. Many people built their lives together. They both work. But if you worked with a woman, earned through her dedication to a man, her commitment to live a softer life, and a man can afford it, it's usually better if that man is her first pick of the draft. Because even if a man is not the woman's first pick or top 5, and you're gonna pay 100% of the bill, she still sees you as shit. You don't build equity with women. Women are not like men. You help a man today, and tomorrow he remembers you for the rest of his life. You build equity with you only can build equity with men. Women don't remember that shit. You can do all the sacrifices you want. That's why guys get that something called fallacy. The guys be so butthurt and whatever else, because they remember all the money they spent on these women that they could have invested in themselves or invested in the markets and got a real return, or even bought themselves something that they wanted. That's why guys be all butthurt many times, because of the amount of resources and money they've invested in women that they're no longer with. That woman's going to take herself to another man, and that resource is gone. And you got to take it down. I mean, it's a manly thing. Beat on your chest and take that out. Sometimes it's worth the price of getting rid of her. But you've taken that L, and that's what frustrates most men. I mean, divorce guys, especially, that you're going to get better in time. You're going to become better in life. Just hang in there, be tight. I mean, be strong. Fight off the irritation. Because usually when women divorce men or are no longer with men, they want to see them worse. Like, they don't want to see you win. That's the thing about it. They want to see you down bad. But in the distance, you will rise. Because they're like, well, with me, he got better. They don't want to see you get better after them. So that's why you're going to get a lot of irritation and, stress with custody. And they're trying to break you down, See, because they've told all their friends and the families that you were a loser and a bum. So they want you to exemplify that in your actions and your behavior. That's why they're constantly doing things to irritate you, to raise your cortisol, to raise your stress level, to break you down so you look, act, and behave like a freaking loser. It's the emasculation and disrespect to lower your self-esteem. And I'm going to have a conversation or even do a live stream with the divorce and the mental games, what they do with divorce guys or guys that are out of relationships. And, all those things, how to combat that. But that's a whole different conversation. This video is going for 30 minutes. I really need to do a live stream. But this is what's going on right now in society. We see a lot of scammers, a lot of relationship scammers, women looking for a superhero to rescue them and save them. But Kevin Samuels and guys like that put themselves on the line, told women what they needed to be, what they needed to do. They ignored them. They don't give a rat's ass what you want. To be honest with you, they don't care anything about what you think, what you want, what you desire. For them, you should be happy just to have this goddess, this wonderful people, just to get access to some pre-owned box, high mileage, viciously and vigorously pounded out pre-owned box. You should be like, you're supposed to be like, oh man, like a guy like me. Oh, I'm going to marry one of these women and hand over all my retirement, pension, and money just so I can be with her. Look what I got, fellas. Look at this big BBL ass with tattoos on her neck and all this other shit. Hey, peaceful life is not a jellyback, bitch ass, desperate for box, burnt out. No, sorry. I'm supposed to be nicer in this video. What am I doing? What would it look like me walking around with that worn out youth stuff, beating on my chest like I'm some kind of man? I can't stand dudes like that. The ultimate cuck, jellyback, walking around with a woman with 100 bodies on them, all BBL'd out, thinking that you've got yourself a winner. Dudes is crazy nowadays, man. Or you the last pick of the draft, and she tossed the Hail Mary, and you got something that any man with self-esteem has ran from. And you do the Boyce Watkins on somebody and say, man, look, and now you're walking around here like you got something special. That's the craziest dude on the planet, man. We have a lot of cucks like that, a lot of jellybacks like that. But that's their problem and their issue. They're the one that got to live with her. Anyhow, Kevin tried to help them, and they rewarded him by celebrating his death. So all the superheroes out here, think that you can change that person, that creature who only thinks about themselves, the most selfish, self-serving, self-absorbing creature that worships itself all day, every day, is thinking about you when they go to these dating events, when they look at themselves in the mirror, or when they see you walk by. The only thing they're thinking about is them and how much money you're going to spend on them and how you're going to save them from their suffering They see you as a poverty alleviation special. They didn't listen to Kevin. With that, they say, you know what old folks say, hard head makes a soft ass. But life is real. Gentlemen, take care of yourself. Take care of your health. Protect your mental health. Protect your physical health. Make sure you're going to the gym. Make sure you're eating right. I'm taking my ass on the gym instead of running my mouth on the internet. I'm about to see, people think that after I get off the internet, I go to the gym and my real life starts. And whatever business things or projects that I have to work on or things I have to do today get started. This is a small part of my life. I may respond to comments and whatever else, but I have other shit going on while I'm doing it. Peace and blessings to you, gentlemen. Take care of yourself. Nobody's going to take care of you like you. I'm out. Have a good day. Do something nice for yourself today, gentlemen. I think it's Friday. It's Friday. Do something nice for yourself today. Don't feel guilty about spending some of the hard-earned money you work for on yourself. Don't have to be a lot of money, but do something nice for yourself. Even if you just go get yourself a nice steak, do something for yourself today. You worked hard, man. Peace and blessings. I'm out.